Let's move on to international affairs. And although we mentioned it in passing on Wednesday's program, we didn't go into any detail on the Israeli attack in Qatar.
Well, I think this is changing the game slightly here. We'll bring this headline up on screen here. The UN Security Council now kind of in turmoil in the sense members are condemning Israel over their deadly strike on Qatar. So the Israelis have attacked Qatar, trying to assassinate the Hamas political delegation, the ones who are negotiating or in negotiations with intermediaries with Israel over lots of things like ceasefires and the release of the Israeli hostages, also the release of the Palestinian hostages, which they don't talk about because there's 9,000 of those. That's not a popular topic in America. But this is the pattern, Mike. We're seeing this with everything with the United States. And the U.S. Would have probably provided or been involved in the loop, on the intelligence loop on this, okay? The negotiations are taking place high level with Ukraine. This happened with Ukraine while they're at Istanbul. Huge sneak attack against Russia. The same with Iran. Why the Iranians were in in Oman negotiating a potential impasse with the nuclear deal, a sneak attack by Israel against the Iranians.
Right.
And here we have again negotiations with Israel and Hamas, and they tried to assassinate the counterparty. So this is how, who would want to go into negotiations with the U.S. or Israel at this point? Because you will be attacked, or they'll try to take out whoever they're negotiating with across the table. This is basically what's going on here. The Trump statement here this morning. I'll just quickly read a few sentences of this. This morning, the Trump administration was notified by the U.S. military that Israel was attacking Hamas in Qatar, which very unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital city of Qatar. This decision was made by Prime Minister Netanyahu. It was not a decision made by me. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation, close ally of the United States, is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance the Israel or American goals. And he goes on. He's talking about Steve Witkoff here working hard and so forth. And it's embarrassing.
There's no condemnation.
It's total humiliation. The only thing missing from this picture is a gimp suit. Quite frankly, this is just for America. This is total humiliation. This is Trump getting down on his knees and totally prostrating himself at the altar of the Israeli lobby. It is really humiliating. I don't know how much more of this the president can do, but clearly he's not in charge.
Right.
If he was. So we'll play this news clip here. This is from one of the Qatari foreign ministers here talking to CNN. This will tell you basically where we're at on this issue.
If you don't, we...
Oh, sorry about that. Let's try again.
This is state terror. That's what they call it. Honestly, I have no words to express. He needs to be brought to justice. He's the one who's wanted to the ICC. That's number one. So I think that someone like him trying to lecture the world about the law, he's breaking every law. He broke every international law. He's starving people in Gaza. He's doing all these rogue actions in the entire region. What's next? What's next for him? Honestly, I have no words to express how outraged we are from such an act.
If you could describe.
And I say to Qatar and all nations who harbor terrorists, you either expel them or you bring them to justice. Because if you don't, we will.
You said it right there.
Right.
So no one to negotiate with, basically. We're going to kill anybody, any potential leader. We'll kill or imprison. So there'll be negotiation. So that's where things are at. I think this is really, I didn't think there could be an all-time low, Mike, but they've outdone themselves, the Israelis, on this.
Well, in the meantime, then, of course, we mentioned this on Wednesday, but this claim of drone strikes by Russia within Polish sovereign territory.
And a major crisis for NATO. Everyone's screaming Article 5 on this. We did a little investigation on this, Mike, and I think we have a pretty good idea of where things are at. Let's take a look at this. Poland, the downed drones. So the accusation is that Russia was flying drones into Polish territory. But what really happened? Let's take a closer look here. I think we're going to get some answers. So Warsaw has asked, this is Poland, has asked for formal consultations with other NATO states under Article 4. That's prior to Article 5. You go into Article 4 consultations here. The drones allegedly arrived from Belarusian airspace rather than Ukrainian airspace. That is a confirmed fact. So that's an interesting detail that you don't read much, or at least it's not made prominent in the Western media here. And Poland has yet to show any evidence via official state agencies to prove that the drones were identified as Russian. So that is still yet to happen. There have been images put out in the media, including the Associated Press image we have in the background, which we showed at the beginning when we showed the initial image. So that's something that has yet to come. But here's where we're at. This is the important part. Russian forces have successfully hit multiple arms production facilities in Western Ukraine. That's kind of what this is about. Russia has extended their targeting to the west of Ukraine, and it's causing huge problems at NATO headquarters because they don't know what to do before they manage to avoid this. This is all part of the plan for Ukraine here. So let's take a look at where we might be able to get some other answers on this. We'll take a look here. Well, this is what the great and the good say. Here are the reactions from Europe. Mike Kaliakalis, whether it was intentional or not, is absolutely reckless. This is absolutely dangerous here. Mark Rutte, whether it was intentional or not, it's absolutely reckless. It's dangerous. They're basically saying the same thing. Reckless and unprecedented violation of Polish airspace, says von der Leyen. That picture is very strange of Starmer and Zelensky and Macron. I just want to say on the off there, Russia conducted an egregious and unprecedented violation of the Polish airspace. Almost identical statements from everybody. And Macron weighs in, Russia must put an end to this reckless escalation here. So the rapid response mechanism has been
full flow
has been invoked here. But we'll get some answers. Let's go to Belarus. Let's talk to the Belarusian MOD, and I think they know what's happening. Minsk has claimed credit for giving the Polish military an early warning about incoming drones. That's an important detail. You didn't read that on the CNN report, I can assure you. Oh, and it gets better. Belarus were tracking Russian and Ukrainian drones used for mutual strikes overnight, confirming that some of them had lost their track as a result of the impact of the party's electronic warfare assets. So jamming, GPS jamming, has thrown some of the drones off. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened here. And the Belarusian warning allowed the Polish state to respond promptly to the threat. And the general noted here, this was one of the spokespeople from Belarus, adding that the Polish side had also informed Belarusian forces on duty about the approach of unidentified aircraft from the territory of Ukraine. Another important detail which was left out of Western coverage here, and the Belarusian air defenses shot down some of the stray aircraft. That's another new a revelation here from this. And just so people can see, that's the map there. You can see how closely this tri-state, tri-national border area is. And this is the site there right over the Belarusian border, very close to Ukraine as well. So it's completely plausible, Mike, here. By the way, the Polish shut down two or three major airports as a result of this, but it's perfectly plausible. As we found out, you remember in November 2022, when there was stray anti-aircraft missiles that fell into Polish territory, the press immediately ran with it and said it was a Russian missile attack, nearly came to some kind of an Article 5 crisis, and all of a sudden we find out that that didn't happen, and the whole thing was de-escalated. I think we're seeing some of the same things here, but what's important is they're panicking because Russia has stepped up their attacks against arms manufacturing facilities in Western Ukraine. That's really what this is about.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.